Hi everyone, I'm back. So let me just look here at a few more of the questions that you had. Um, one of, if we talk about the student-led IEP meetings and getting your students involved and what does that look like, there is a video in the transition content area about student-led IEP meetings, and it does have some students in elementary school that are featured in that video, and I think that that's really going to help explain some of your questions that some of you had in regarding having student-led IEP meetings. A couple of you mentioned parents not wanting their child to know that they had an IEP. And I would, if you have parents that are hesitant about their child knowing about their ability and how that they may learn differently, I encourage you to ask the parents why they don't want their child to understand and explain to them the importance of a child understanding their learning differences so that they can become a self advocate and be a part of the planning process that is going to help them be successful in school. Um, I don't know about you all, and I don't know what analogy you might would come up with to talk to parents, but I will just speak for myself. When there's a medical diagnosis, it is a lot easier when we know what it is than not knowing. And children know when they learn different from their peers, that they see, their person sitting beside them and they're just reading just like that, and they know how hard they're working and they're not reading or learning as the content as quickly as their partner is, and that can be really just really have an effect on their self-esteem. But when they know, they're like going, hey, well, my brain just works different, and I'm really good at this, but this is an area that is, pardon me, it's going to take me a little more work, or I need this extra support to help me read. And oh, well, that's why that's different for me than it is for my friend, and that's why I do math so well, but reading is a struggle for me. Or oh wow, it's like once they understand and they know what an IEP is. This is my individualized education plan. Well, isn't that cool? Yes, I want to be a part of that. I want to help in planning, and so my teachers know what I need and that they can help me learn. It is such an empowering thing. So please, so work with those, talk with those parents, listen to their concerns, and point them to resources. And I didn't post this in the resources, but understood.org is an excellent website for families. It really gives them a lot of great information about ADHD and executive functioning and so many other things that they can learn how to support their child themselves. So I'll put that in the resources, but that's a great way to help parents understand how to support their child. Let's see. One of the things that I found as far as participating in meetings is and really learned a lot about this during shutdown with the pandemic. We need to start embracing technology for our IEP meetings. When you have a parent who works a 10-hour shift at a chicken plant and they are not able to leave their workplace to come to the school to go to a meeting, you may get the impression that they don't care about their child and they don't want to participate, but they can't because they will lose their job if they leave and try to come to a meeting. But you know what? If we were having that meeting where we were doing video conferencing and they could use their phone during their 30-minute lunch break or a break during the day, they could go and they could participate in the meeting and be a part of their child's planning process. So I encourage you to, when you're thinking about contacting families, You know, sending home surveys, sometimes there's language barriers, right? We may write it in a language we understand, but families may just be like, going, yeah, that's too much. They have 4 kids at home, they're working 2 jobs, and filling out our form is not their top priority. But you know, if you know, there are things like private classroom, you know, Facebook pages. There are other third-party apps where you can text families instead of calling them on the phone. Email may work really well. I don't recommend giving out personal phone numbers, but I do recommend using third-party apps for texting because that's so easy for people to communicate with us. But really start thinking about, you know, embracing technology and using maybe some other methods to engage families. Um, and so I'll just kind of wrap it up here because so many of your questions were along the lines of how to get this started, and it's just being kind, being consistent, and asking what the family needs instead of us saying, oh, well, I'm going to do a weekly newsletter and send it home, and I'm going to tell parents this, and I'm going to tell parents this. More of, because if one family in the community knows that you have a private Facebook page, maybe you don't feel that you've made contact with someone else in your classroom. They'll talk to each other, they will find those resources. It's like, oh yeah, well, oh, she'll text me. Oh, okay, well, that sounds great. So just utilize things and learn about the students that you're serving in those communities, and that will go a long way. Um, I know I've just kind of maybe just rambled a little bit on the video today, but I just enjoyed reading your reading reflections, and there are so much of what we do is about listening, and oftentimes, I mean, what am I doing today? But really listening to families and their needs and their concerns, and partnering with them through through consistent caring is the way that you build those trusting relationships. So if you need additional resources, if you're thinking about that coffee cart or that community-based instruction, working with paraprofessionals, you've got me as part of your support team now forever. So please don't hesitate to send me an email and ask me questions in the future, even after we're out of this class. So have a good day, and I'll see you guys soon.